Okay, I think I am now live. I am live. Hello, hey everyone. So we're playing Receiver 2 today. So Receiver 1 came out in 2013. It was a game by I'm quite digging this music actually. It was a game by It's a game by Wolffire Games that came out of the 7-day FPS challenge, and it had really good fidelity with guns, like really good kind of manual reloading and stuff like that. It was a bit different. The guys Wolffire, they also did the game Overgrowth, so I didn't know about Overgrowth until I played Receiver, and then I was like, this is really good. What other games have these guys done? And then discovered Overgrowth and got involved in the alpha for that, where some of my other videos from 7 years ago. Um, that's Overgrowth, and that's kind of some of the most popular videos I've published. Um, so this is Receiver, Receiver 2. I've just loaded it, and it's telling me this game contains themes of mental illness and self-harm, and detailed simulations of real firearms. It is not a substitute for handgun safety training. And I've got to kind of tick this and go, okay, I'll send analytics, why not? Let's give it a go. It's not in full screen at the moment, but it's in a windowed mode. So the first game was really good fun. Kind of want to make you full screen. Yeah, we want all these things windowed now. Let's go for a full screen window. There we go. Query level, fantastic. So, wow, well, instantly, fidelity-wise, it's a lot nicer. It looks a lot better than the first game. Obviously, the first game being a this is cool. There's a jump button. The first game being a very lo-fi thing. It's still got the same like exterior view. Oh, that's just a target. Oh no, that's what I am. That's me. Okay, so I am a gun target. That's my reflection. It's interesting. I've shot guns before. I shot guns in the US, in Texas, and it's weird to shoot at something that looks like a person. Um, it's good. It is good fun. You can interact with lights. Interact G. Sneak past kill drone. Avoid its blue light. So instantly, these exteriors feel very. There is no run button. The exteriors feel very Receiver 1, like quite lo-fi. So this game is 20 bucks. So just to set all your expectations, just kind of zoom them all in. So a proto turret. Some receivers are focusing their energy on interfering with the dreaming. Like this is all kind of random nonsense. Just interfering with our supplies for you. This may result in turrets that are only partially manifested, leaving their battery and most components completely exposed. You can use this opportunity to study their locations so that you aren't firing blind when you encounter turrets that are fully covered. Okay, so this is basically a turret. So, and then here's another turret. So this is the proto, which we've just walked by, which we can see all the insides of. This is a normal turret. So after the mine kill, the threat will be able to dream automated weapons to attack you. We expect the sentry turret to be one of the most common kill drones. There are many possible variations of this design, but we believe that they will all share certain characteristics. Turrets have their own light source, which we just saw because it showed at us. They do not rely on daylight or building lights to identify their targets. Saving building lights won't make it harder for them to see you, but it may make it easier for you to see them. Okay, so that's why we can turn things off and on. Shining a flashlight at them is a great way to get their attention, so be careful with your flashlights if that's not your goal. Turret uses rifle ammunition causing massive damage. An old rule of thumb goes that with prompt medical care, 1 in 5 victims of a pistol GSW gunshot will die, and 1 in 5 victims of a rifle gunshot wound will survive. after the mine kill, you are unlikely to receive prompt medical care. Okay, so it's saying 1 in 5 victims of the rifle gunshot wound will survive. This fires rifle ammunition, so it's saying if we take one shot from there, from that, there's a 20% chance that we survive. Rather than if it fired pistol ammo, in which case there would be a 80% chance that we survive. So it causes massive damage. I guess because rifle bullets are a different caliber, aren't they? Like, I fired a 9mm and I fired a AR-15. I don't remember the ammunition. I remember it being thinner. The bullets were definitely thinner, like 5.56 or something. Like it was, they were like a smaller than the ones we stuck in the handgun. Strategies and weaknesses. The basic toy model is very lightly armored, more like a computer case than a tank. Even that limited armor grants significant protection from pistol rounds. Glancing shots will ricochet harmlessly away, and straight-on shots can still enter one side and exit the other without hitting any important components. The surest way to disable a turret is its battery, located in the rear base of the turret. Shooting the camera, the box with light on it, will not disable it completely, but will make it unable to see you. Shooting the center of the base will disable the mode to make it unable to turn, but will still fire if you walk in front of it. So, I mean, we saw these turrets. So I saw these turrets in Receiver 1, and obviously you just saw they're pretty scary. But in Receiver 1, they were only ever these kind of proto turrets. Where you can see all the components. So Q is to. So I can, if I press H. Oh, that just. No, I think that will give me instructions. That was pretty close. And we get the funky music, and there again, I'm a target. So there's a light which we can turn on or off. It's not giving me a gun yet. Rapidly tap W to sprint. Oh yeah, that's how I did it in the first game as well. I guess that feels more kinetic. So it's saying me to rapidly press W. Oh yeah, because there's blue light on my right, which means there's a rifle on my right. So let's do this. Don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. Okay. Can we get a better? Oh yeah, so we can see there's the turret there. It's stationary. And as we know, let's press C to crouch. So I press C. Is it telling me to go through here? Yeah. Cool. You didn't get any of this in the first game. The first game was very much a 7-day FPS, in the sense that you just died constantly. Oh, what's this? Ammunition. New help is available. Items on 6 ammunition. We have prepared diligently for the mind kill using our most powerful mind tech. So, the mind kill was an event referenced in the first game. So they talked about it. The first game just didn't really make any sense. I guess because it was it was more of a tech demo. It was like, this is what we can do with this engine. And I think it's a Unity game. And it's like, well, this is what we can do. We can make cool firearms. So, don't worry too much about this, but it's kind of it's interesting to try and work out what story there is. So we've prepared diligently for the mind kill using our most powerful mind tech. One of these preparations is that we are able to shift and reflect existing objects. During the mind kill event, certain receivers have been tasked with placing ammunition from our caches where receivers can find it. So I'm assuming I am a receiver, and he says, I've something with balloons in mind. This mind tech is not compatible with the techniques needed to survive the mind kill. If you are a survivor, remember that some of us sacrificed so you can have a better chance to awaken. So I think I am a survivor. I think I've woken up after the mind kill. But I'm not looking at floppy disks. We don't know why, but magnetic storage media seem immune from the corruptive effects of mind kill. This is why the receiver tape survived, but also why receivers have chosen the floppy disk as a method to record and spread data. They may contain hints, tips, and strategies on how to survive. There are certain vital facts that all receivers should be aware of. Sometimes there are personal messages meant to communicate our individual experiences. These are important too, lest we forget what it is like to be human, even in the dreaming. It is essential that receivers collect as many floppies as they can. Cool. So that's a floppy disk. Which, I mean, I remember floppy disks. I've still got games on. It's just to be careful when approaching it. Use slow taps G to hack the turret. Balance taps to keep the market in. So it's good to go. Run, run, run! Dead, dead, dead. Okay, that seems quite hard actually. We'll try it again. I know I was shot by a turret. Do we start off the very beginning again? Probably. Oh no, it's much more forgiving. Let's do it. Ah, nice. And then we can get bullets from the dead turret. Ah, it's gun! Ammo. Right. Press escape. Smith and Wesson Model 10. So let's read about revolvers. The game is all about guns. Revolvers are always a better choice than semi-automatics. Depends on what you're using them for. They're simple to understand, operate, and maintain, and most self-defensive situations do not require more than 1 or 2 shots. Civilian carry is not about preparing for an extended CQB, close quarters. CQB, close quarters, something. I mean, CQC is close quarters combat. CQB, don't know. Some kids like to pretend they're special operators and strap on the most tactical kit they can find, but wearing a drop leg holster with an MK25 as a civilian does not make you look like a SEAL. It makes you look like a more ninja. Revolvers are cheap to train with because it's easy to load your own ammo. It's true. The casings stay in the cylinder, so you won't have to go digging in the dirt for them. Also true. And the weapon will run fine even if you don't get factory precise power to loads. Don't know about that, don't know about guns. Revolvers don't care how you fire them. You can limp wrist them all you want and it won't jam up on you. Sometimes you have to shoot semi-autos hundreds or even thousands of times to break them in and make them run reliably. When you look at the price of a semi-auto, add the cost of their ammo and range time to a price tag. With revolvers, that's not a thing. I never shot a revolver. I've shot semi-autos, but I've never shot a revolver before. Semi-autos have a number of issues that revolver owners never have to think about. You never have to strain to shove that 17th round into a magazine or worry about lubricating side rails and feed lamps. You don't have to worry about whether it will go bang if you shoot it from your pocket or pressed up against an attacker in close quarters. I mean, it must be close quarters something. A lot of semi-autos will catch on something or get pushed out of battery in those situations. If a round fails to fire, just pull the trigger again and it will shoot the next one. No taps or racks needed. So when I fired a semi-auto, like the magazine could take like up to 12, but just to keep the springs fresh, we just like put 7 bullets in. Revolvers, we understand there's no hidden round in the chamber just waiting for an accident. I mean, true, yeah, like semi-autos do have that. There's no little safety switches to get you killed when you lose fine motor control. When the threat is trying to make sure that anything that can go wrong will go wrong, it's best to keep it simple and stick to a 6 gun. True, it's not got a safety. I would argue that's a bad thing. Having shot guns since I was like 9, maybe younger. My dad taught me when I was 8 or 9 shoot guns. Like safeties are key. Like you always have the safety on, and then only when you're pointing at the thing you want to shoot, you turn it off. And you never point a gun at a person, even with the safety on. Like you never point a gun at any living thing. My humble opinion. I know people shoot rabbits and stuff. After mine kill, it is likely that the threat will sabotage your weapon by dreaming welded metal cylinder. Dreaming welded metal cylinders into one or more of your cylinders. After mine kill, it is likely that the threat will sabotage your weapon by dreaming welded metal cylinders into one or more of the cylinder chambers. You can mitigate this problem by lining up the stopped chamber with the barrel when reloading, using the mouse wheel or the square curly bracket keys by default. So the first trigger pull will rotate it out of your way. If there is more than one stop chamber, you'll have to take the cylinder rotation direction into account. Okay, so I think that means, so it's a 6-chambered gun, and it's saying that after mine kill, your weapon might have a welded cylinder. So if you start on that, you pull the trigger, the trigger comes back, the cylinder rotates, and it hits the next shell. So it kind of goes like, I think it rotates clockwise in the Smith & Wesson, we're about to find out, and it goes like boom. So, but then as we come back around, so we fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots. Then when we get to the sixth one, which is our welded one, we won't fire, but we'll see what happens. So Smith & Wesson Model 10. It's a 38, which is the caliber hand ejector model of 1899, military and police Model 10. Yeah, so 38 special, that's the caliber. I don't know what 38 special, I know 38 is just the kind of size of the round, but special, I don't know what that means. Model 10 set the pattern for all modern revolvers and will always be the most popular handgun of the 20th century. It was especially popular with American law enforcement and dominated the market until it was replaced by high-capacity Wonder 9s in the 80s. So wow, it lasted a very long time. Early Model 10s were designed to fire .38 long Colt and only later modified for the more powerful 38 special. So that's special. These converted Model 10s fired well, but sometimes failed to extract fired cartridges in the first stroke of the ejector rod. So they got stuck. Before taking shots, you can manually cock the hammer to make the trigger more sensitive. Smith & Wesson cylinders rotate counterclockwise. Oh, so they go the other way, so they go that way. So if any chambers are disabled, you can minimize the effects by making sure that the one disabled chamber is lined up with the uncocked hammer, and the others are to the left, because we go that way. The safety holster of the Model 10 makes sure that the hammer is not cocked. Okay. It's a weird game, right? So I think, yeah, we press H, and this is what was so good about the last one. So, hold is right mouse, holster push, full, open cylinder, E. Okay, so we've got 6 casings, 6 shells, so we put all 6 in. Spin cylinder, whee, there we go. How do I close the cylinder? Can I unclose that? Yeah, so F. No, I can't. I pulled the hammer now. So tab would... I just shot myself. So yeah, so tab will holster the gun. But if you've got the gun safety, new information now available, and holstering, we'll read those. Let's play with this first. So I've now shot that gun. You can see the indent on one of those cartridges. So how do I extract casings? Just drop them all on the floor. Okay, so now my empty one's there. Now they're all in, and then we okay, cool, yeah. Let me do that. Let's read about gun safety. No, that's not. Well, that's important. Gun safety. The most important gun safety is to keep them out of reach of the threat. We don't know the full extent of the threat's abilities, but we do know there is some direct influence over probability and growing power to infect human minds with poisonous thoughts. There are 3 steps every receiver must follow to ensure their firearm works for them and not for the threat. Firearms must be inaccessible to anyone who is untrained, yes. Hiding them out of reach is not nearly enough. The threat is known to whisper stories about hidden guns into the ears of young children in households that contain untrained individuals. Firearms must be locked when not in use. Alcohol, lack of sleep, and other substances can tempt to remove someone's training and make them susceptible to the threat. Okay, that's interesting, because that's sort of saying... So, yeah, a firearm should be absolutely inaccessible to anyone who's untrained. Like gun safes are key. Firearms must be locked when not in use. But it's sort of saying alcohol, lack of sleep, and other substances can make you susceptible to the threat. You must learn to recognize the voice of the threat and attempt to remove your own access to firearms when it gets too strong. If you're reading this, you have the potential to become a true receiver, and the threat is likely to mark you for death. If you start having strong urges to hurt yourself or others, you are under direct attack, and there is a chance that the threat will possess your body for up to 5 minutes. You must make sure that it takes longer than that to access your firearms, at least until the attack passes. You can do this by locking them and giving someone else the key. pawning them or storing ammunition at a separate location. Wow, that feels like it's talking about suicide already. Like we've been playing for 18 minutes. It's mostly been reading. Appreciate that's not the most fun, but it's a weird game, so it's interesting. That's really yeah. So it's saying obviously store your weapons and ammunition separately. You know, when you have weapons in the UK, like people don't have weapons. If you have a lot of room to kind of fields available, you have weapons, which is um, I grew up in a situation where we had that and had space available to safely use firearms, but they're always locked away, like no access. I had absolutely no access to them. Um, when firearms involved, you must ensure that you leave nothing to chance. Probability is under control for the threat. To protect yourself efficiently, you need to use multiple layers of vigilance. Vigilance. Your firearm can only injure you or your loved ones if 4 facts are true. It is pointed in an unsafe direction. Something is pulling the trigger. The weapon is loaded. And the safety features are active. If you always vigilantly control all 4 of these facts, the threat will not be able to manipulate your firearm. I'll leave you with this classic hunter's poem, some poetry. If a sportsman true, you'd be listen carefully to me. Never, never let your gun pointed be at anyone. That it may unloaded be matters not the least to me. When a hedge or fence you cross, though with time it cause a loss. From your gun the cartridge take for the greatest safety's sake. If twixt you and neighbouring gun, birds shall fly or beasts may run. Let this maxim here be thine, follow not across the line. Stops and beaters often seen lurk behind some leafy scene. Calm and steady always be, never shoot what you can't see. You may kill or you may miss, but at all times think this: all the pheasants ever bred won't repay for one man dead. 1904. I mean, there's a lot of truth. That's actually really quite profound. I feel a little moved, having spent a lot of time around firearms and just hearing about accidents, like people shoot guns without looking where they're going. Like, you gotta absolutely treat it with respect. You gotta absolutely only shoot what you can. People who oh, I can see a bit of a deer, and I went for it, and it was like another deer hunter. Oh, it's terrible. When holstering off. Sorry, because we just shot ourselves in the leg. In the game. When drawing holstering firearms, you can hold the holster key down to perform the action in a focused way, avoiding any chance of accidentally pulling the trigger. Hold the holster key down. If you're not paying attention, it's easy to flip the bang switch with a finger, piece of clothing, or holster itself, and give yourself a backlace of Glock leg. Under direct influence from the threat, expect this to happen every single time. To operate effectively, it is safest to use whatever manual safety features the weapon has available and take care. So it's saying hold the holster key. Don't just do it willy-nilly. Should we try some willy-nilly? Okay, maybe it's just going easy on us because it's early in the game. Cool. So we learned a lot about gun safety. Well, we learned some stuff about gun safety. Okay, let's holster that. Okay. And this is a game where I don't believe we're going to have to ever shoot anyone. I believe it is a game about shooting robots. Well, not even shooting robots, shooting aim, right mouse button, shoot with left mouse. Okay, cool. Right, yeah. So we can see that gun. So I think that's the ammo casing at the back. Can I get next to this thing? Yeah. Lots of bullets. So, right, let's look at it. So we see that there's power there. There's the light there. There's actually there. Why don't we just shoot here? Crikey, that's loud. Okay, so I think the turret is damaged but not incapacitated. Yeah, so I think we've just hit the turning mechanism. So I'm going to shoot it. Turret is incapacitated. Wowzer, that gun is loud. I guess one thing. Also, the two are on the floor. I guess the one thing that I remember from shooting actual guns is they are flipping loud, like they're terrifying. And you feel the the in your chest and actually shoot it, which is scary. So it's down. Oh, that's scary. Yeah, the light's still working, but it's not shooting us. It's got no ammo. So it shoots rifle bullets, so they look longer and thinner than ours. Pick up tapes.
When the mind kill comes, you will likely have forgotten everything about your own life before entering the post-mind kill environment. But everything that has become intuition, everything you've made a part of your inner self, the threat, is unable to erase. Therefore, it's important to train until the training becomes so natural that you give it no thought. Correct usage of your firearm has to become as natural as breathing for there to be any chance of success.
Some more ammo. So yeah, so the initial receiver game, it sounds like the same voice actor, just 7 years older. So they just put some tapes in the game. It was made in 7 days. Like it's not a the environments are very basic. So it just sounds like they've brought him back to do some tapes. I mean, that's it's very simple, isn't it? Oh, something about balloons. Let's shoot the balloon, see what happens. Nothing. Crikey, is it loud. So yeah, we've got 5 shots left. Holster our gun. There's another balloon there. Have there been any more balloons? I kind of want to shoot all of them and just see what happens. No, I've not seen any more. Let's shoot all of them. Does it blink, or am I blinking? Let's see if we can shoot that from here. My guy blinks, which I guess makes it feel more real. What is that beeping? Is that the guy down there? That thing's still seeing me from here. See a red balloon up there. Walk into ladders to climb them. Where was that balloon? Oh, it's up the ladder. So there's some more stuff. Okay, let's now empty it. So, extract casings, hold V. We can also spin if they get stuck. I remember having to do that in the last game. Grab the 2 shells bullets we haven't used, stick all of them in, spin the barrel really fast, close it, holster it. So tapes is just the one tape which we've listened to already. Ah, it doesn't. It just gives us the floppy disk straight away. I thought we had to go to computer. Okay. Out of time. All signs indicate the mind kill is imminent. The threat has abandoned subtlety in its infiltration of the media, of our society, of our bodies. There is no longer doubt. Any doubt? This is the time we have prepared for. Receivers who have volunteered for cash duty, now is the time to focus on your mind tech to ensure that your guidance and supplies reach those who survive. If you receive this message after the mind kill, please accept our aid and ensure that our sacrifice was not in vain. Thanks, guys. Semper Fidelis. If this Semperfi, is that the Marine thing in the US? If this disc is not blank, it means that you've survived the mind kill. Cool. If you have no memory of what happened, do not be alarmed when expected this and prepare for this eventuality. We did our best to send you sufficient supplies and guidance, so the rest is up to you alone. Your path is a difficult one, full of hardship and setbacks. Even though you have forgotten, you have spent years training the receiver virtues of perseverance, discipline, and courage. We know that you have what it takes. Remember that we are still watching you from Reality A, and we will never give up on you. Cool. So rapidly press W and space to jump. And there's a ladder to climb back up. Just want to check there's no bullets. All right. Hey, did it. Did 2 jumps. Cool. Sorry, just got a message from a friend saying that there's a museum in Japan about cup noodles. I'm hoping to go to Japan later this year if that happens. Can I jump on that? Sleeping turret. So, sorry, I need to read this. Sleeping turret. The threat learns from our thoughts and responses. It already is listening and predicting our behavior from our training to adapt to plan accordingly. Telling me it knew I would jump on the thing. The sleeping turret lies in wait silently in darkness until the target moves within range of its passive sensors. Look, learn, listen. Never trust a dark and quiet room. Look carefully to make sure it's secure. Learn how it behaves. There is a small window of opportunity to act before it activates. Listen to the telltale signs of a fully activated turret. So that's telling me that beep is death. Cool, that is a turret. Can I shoot it from this angle? Maybe hack it. Too much. Oh, that's really quite hard. It's quite challenging, that hacking. I like it. It's better rather than just like, oh, map. So if we turn the lights off, some receivers report a strange voice as tapes are nearby. Just listening for the tape. Be careful, Mark. Don't hear anything. Can hear that though.
It is vital that you know that you are not dreaming. This is real. This is the time you have prepared for.
Oh. Click anywhere. Your mind's eye sharpens. Rank up. You have reached baseline. I don't know what that means. Interference, the threat. Certainty with our supply chain, it is likely that most of our transmissions will be incomplete and off target. To make sure we get enough, we must send at least 10 times what the survivors will need. We must focus all our training on this mindset. Unfortunately, this means we can't survive the minekill ourselves. Remember what we are fighting for, even though we lose our bodies in reality B, we will continue to exist in the radiant light, reality A. So this is my personal log, which I don't remember writing. That's cool. It finally happened. It was true. The minekill, the threat, it was all true. But I barely started my receiver training. I'm not prepared yet. I can no longer train with my fellow receivers in the compound. Now what? I guess I need to figure this stuff out somehow. But for what I need to stay alive. This is the big moment. This is where I join the receivers. Don't think that time plays right. It's 32 minutes, not. Anyway, it's fine. Let's ignore it. Let's consume 5 tapes. So I don't know if this is a randomly generated level or not. But I can go left and I can go up here. Let's have a quick look in this gun. Open cylinder. So that's clockwise. And that's counterclockwise. So that's a welded shut one. That's one with no bullet in. Let's put a bullet in there. If I start at the welded shut, so if I close, how do I close again? Spins this so the mouse wheel, closing there is R. Okay, so I can see, okay, it's easy to do it like that. So we're now on that. So let's just do a test shot to make sure it works. So I click, it rotates that way, uses that bullet. That's cool. That's what I thought would happen. Let's rotate it back around. I'll use to pull it out, press R, and then move it over to the next one. Okay, so we could go that way. I think let's climb this thing, and then we'll look over there, and then we can come back. So this is the room with some crates and some stuff. It's all rooftops, isn't it? Okay, let's go carefully. So we're listening for music. We need to find 5 tapes. That's all we need to do. And not get killed immediately. One thing I remember about Receiver 1 is it was just hard. It was great because it was so hard. I enjoyed it. Okay, cool. And this gives us... I'm not sure if these are random generated levels or not. Receiver 1 was. I mean, it feels like it could be. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Cross over there. Not hearing any beeps. Cool, well, straight up to the top and there's nothing. Let's head back down. Let's check out the other side. Just go up here. Again, just listening for the tapes. There's nothing. Do I want to go back down? I was going to go this way anyway, wasn't I? Yes, I was, so let's see where we can go. Oh, I see light. Up here. Let's go. Oh well. Let's try to shoot in the middle. That was a glancing blow, I think. You're kidding me. That thing is still... Oh no, I've locked it in position now. Great. Cool. Got there in the end. Not got that many bullets left. Got 1 bullet and these 5's got 6 bullets. Great. Okay, so that light is 2 more bullets. Trying to work out if the light is just that one over there. I think it is. Don't do that to me. So I think I might need to jump over here. I bought the soundtrack version. There's another balloon there. I don't know what shooting them gets me. I kind of want to save the ammo. It's not got that much of it. Man, these levels are pretty big. I don't know if they'll have the... Okay, I can see a turret down there. I don't know if they'll have the flying turrets the other ones have. They had in the first game because they were really scary. Alright. Oh. Okay. See a turret over there. Quite far away. I don't think you can see us from here. Let's ignore it. We might need the... I've not holstered this gun. It's just on our left, isn't it? Okay, yeah, we're going to have to shoot it from the side. Let's go to well. Oh man, it's quite far away, isn't it? I think if I shoot the back of it, it's the ammo bit. Try again, it's 2 shots on it. Groping, glancing, 3. Okay, it looks like it still works, but it doesn't look like it's got any ammo. I'm really happy that we've got this really helpful thing. So, extract casings V. Collect the ones we've not used, put them back in. We've got 7 bullets. Cock the hammer. I didn't mean to do that, so I click right now. Can you? I'll release hammer F and mouse button. Cool. Hold left mouse and fire. I don't want to do that. I want to. Yes, right. How do I close this again? Close. It's highlighting the one I want. That's good. Cool. And now we're on the empty chamber. Got no ammo, mate. I really don't like the way it follows me around. This is quite good music. So ladder down. Let's keep on. Okay, turret over there. I think there's 2. I think there's that one. And there's definitely another one. Boom! Yeah, there's another one here. It's doing full 360 rotations. So we'll move out and shoot and then move back in. We're just not, I don't feel like we're having any real impact here. Okay, I think it's still active, but I don't think it can see us. We've used all our bullets. Close is no. It's R. I'd say I can hack this thing. There's no consequences to it because it's consequences to this one, but it can't do anything. It just turns them off, doesn't it? There you go. Get some bullets. I really don't feel like I've got that much ammo. I can see where it shot us though, or shot at us. So that's draw weapon quickly, and slow draw is that. Tape. Nope. We've got to find 5 tapes. We are not doing a particularly good job on that. Okay, I can see some blue light over there. Here's some music. Now I don't want to get carried away. Maybe above us? There's a floppy disk over there. Blue light. So that's... I'm dead. I wonder if it makes us start from the beginning or not. Loading. Collecting CM5 tapes. Okay, it feels like it's randomly generated because it's giving me a slightly different guns. Well, it's the same gun, but I don't mean to do that. How do I shut this? It's R. Cool, it's got a closed back, so it's much harder to see things. I've got a flashlight as well now, which is cool. I'm cool with having a flashlight. And if I tap that, I can put it in my inventory. Oh, is this the same place? No, this is not the same place. So, check out the artwork on the wall. Just a light switch. Okay, so it doesn't feel like there's a door out. But I guess I wanted to test before whether I could shoot through this stuff. And can't walk through it, can't run through it. It's one shot. 2 shots. Glass. Glass can be received as best friend or an unexpected foe. It can provide an entryway or quick exit. There are no other viable options. It can also form a lethal threat with deadly shards falling from above or unexpectedly blocking an escape room. Route. Yeah. Use discretion, but always keep in mind the dual nature of this material. You can shoot through panes of glass, but the impact will destabilize the bullets and can interfere with the trajectory, which is true. Glass dust can also fill the nose of hollow point rounds, causing them to fail to expand on impact. If you must shoot through glass, consider standing back at a safe distance. That's true, and try and shoot through the holes created by previous rounds. It's possible to run and jump through glass. Some panes are too strong to break this way without shooting them first, but others are not due to random variation in their manufacturing process. But full of mine kills will almost always be lethal, but we suspect that strong receivers will be able to use their mine tech to avoid this kind of damage. We've got more stuff here. Oh, have we changed gun? That might explain why it's got a closed back. Let's just have a quick look at this. Firstly, let's drop the bullets. Drop the bullets. Drop them. How do I drop them? V. Pick them up. Right, let's close the casing, and it goes the other way around, doesn't it? Okay. Just double check it. The Colt Detective Special, which is a little snub-nosed revolver. Again, 6 round. The Colt Detective Special was introduced in 1927 to give undercover detectives and off-duty police officers enough concealed firepower to effectively engage gangsters wearing body armor. It became an enduring icon of film noir and detective fiction, and its commercial success contributed to the first major wave of concealed carry restrictions in the United States. Co-authored by the NRA, so this is small enough to conceal carry. The Detective Special has high mechanical accuracy, but a short sight radius, making it difficult to aim at distance targets. That's fair enough. If you must attempt long shots, focus on the breath. Manually cock the hammer to make the trigger more sensitive. Colt cylinders rotate clockwise, the opposite way to the S and W, so if any changes of the sails, you can minimize the effects by making sure that they're all lined up right, basically. Yeah. That's a fair game. Flashlight, which we found. Your flashlight is steady and dependable and helpful tool in dark environments. It will especially useful to find supplies in dark areas which would otherwise be easily overlooked, but please be aware that some enemies can spot you from further away from being used. Tapes are a fundamental way of training. They're also 90s or 80s media, by allowing more to hear the message and advance. By allowing more to hear the message and advance, they've formed the bedrock of our organisation. This information comes to us from Reality A and has been transcribed by those before us who were especially attuned to its powerful message. Like them and listen to them as much as you can. Replay is a good thing to do. Okay, so we've got a slightly different gun, which is why the closed back. So it goes clockwise, which is harder to tell with that. But if we, so that's on the right. So if I shut it without doing anything, and then open it up, it's now come over. Can I run and jump through that, do you think? No. Let's try again. No. Disappointing. Yeah, I think that was the only way out. Yeah. They'd have a door, wouldn't they? In the design? I don't know. It's an indie game, isn't it? So let's not get caught up on the fact that there should be doors. Okay, we're looking for light. That's a door. Can I open it? No. Let's try it. And again. Wait. Don't I feel like a superhero? You'd be kidding me if this was open the whole time. No, it's not. Cool. Unholster. You can see that we've spent that cartridge. Want that one at the top. It's really hard to get that right. How do I shut? Oh, there we go. It feels like it's right. Small bullets. Does it tell me to make the TV? No, it's makeless. There's more glass. Okay, well that wasn't quite a waste of a bullet. We got more bullets, and we got to smash through a window like we were awesome. So came down the stairs. We could continue that way, left or right. I feel like it's randos, and that doesn't really matter. So let's go this way. Let's go right. Turret. Let's drop the flashlight. Okay, it's pointing at us right now. Yeah, so we had our barrels misaligned there. We've got 4 rounds left in this, so I'm not going to bother with the constant unloading and reloading. There are no consequences to getting this wrong, so... So we see a turret over there. Man, there's a lot to explore here. And there's a turret over there. No, it's just a door. Okay, so these boxes are potentially bulletproof. Can I stand on this? I can. Dead, dead, dead. Son of a gun. I'll get some more water. We'll be back in a sec. I got all the water now, so that's all I need. Okay. So I fell to my death. Falling from heights can cause injury, or even death. Who knew? It's a lot of water. Feels important to stay hydrated. Okay, let us continue. New diary entry added. Day 17, I think, ranks. Every time I rank up, I see the world clearer, just like the receiver teachings, but every time I die, it all fades away again, just flashes of insight remain. This is why I keep this diary, to at least have a record of some of the practical things I can still remember. Even every time I die, what a strange thought. I try to retain the true deep insights, but it's almost impossible. So it's been 17 days. We've died twice. Feels a little bit unfair. So gun-wise, again, we've got the I think this is the snub nose. It doesn't look like the Smith & Wesson. So let's just have a quick look at our notes on guns. That looks like the Colt Detective to me, but we've got it now. So can't read that. Okay, so we go this way. We go. It doesn't matter that we're not going to live long enough. I feel like we made enough progress one time that we could then hear a tape, only to then die because we didn't know how glass works. It's okay. That last time it was just me being stupid, but let's not talk about it. Balloon. Danger high voltage. Can I die? No. Some stairs or some... Ah.
You have seen the
Tape
signs
number 1.
around you. The gradual creeping, decay, and dysfunction.
Oh, I've got bullets.
You have realized that something is wrong with the media and the people around you. You know that you are different. This is why you are ready to become a receiver. You have been issued a series of audio cassette tapes that are part of our system for advancing insight. By continually listening to these tapes, you will drown out and eventually counteract the negative influences from your environment. Once you have absorbed these tapes, you will have taken the first step towards awakening your true self. The media is a threat. We have a technique to help. We use tapes as part of this technique. You must listen to them to advance.
Okay, so that's tape number 1. We found one tape. That feels good. And we see this over here. So I remember it saying in the help, if you want to attempt long shots, pull that first. Going for the middle. But that hit something. Let's go again. And third time. Okay, I might try the back. So way to hold breath. Gosh darn it, that's really hard. Boom. So I've got 6 bullets, so I may as well just put them all in there. Okay, that felt good, getting a shot off. More bullets. The environment is definitely way more detailed than the first game. So some tokens over here, some arcade games. What games are there? Desperate Gods. What's happening with that now? Polybius. Ah, it doesn't work. I'll try and interact with it. Black Shades. Lightning Shadow. Can't play it. Overgrowth! Ah. It won't let me play Overgrowth. The Broadside Express. Overgrowth again. Black Shades. The guy wearing black shades. I think that's it for the arcade games, isn't it? Overgrowth was like it is a really cool game. It's definitely worth a look. There's a ladder. And a second tape.
Past events that have caused recurring negative thoughts and emotions are called mental trauma. This was often the result of a sudden shift in perception. The building blocks of our self-concept are ideas about the world and our place in it. When these ideas turn out to be false, it causes a chain reaction that can threaten every aspect of our life. While removing one brick from a tower can cause it to collapse, that does not mean that the problem was widespread. It was a failure in a single element. This demonstrates how critical each belief is, and how finding and removing false beliefs early can prevent a catastrophic chain reaction.
Interesting. Talking about mental trauma. Found this floppy disk during that speech. It bothers me. Something doesn't add up. All these years of training, all the tapes we listened to, all the times we talked about what would happen after Minekill, and now that it's here, it feels off. Something doesn't quite feel right. I can't put my finger on it. Yeah, I'm going crazy. I mean, everybody I've ever known and loved is just gone. I'm not feeling it the way I should be feeling it. I just feel empty and numb. What's happened to me, Henry? Let's go this way. That is a turret. It's quite far away. Will it see me if I stand here? No, it won't. Falling will kill me, potentially. I hear some. See? It's not got louder. Ah, this is another. This is the same level. Try and listen for a tape. Okay, it's definitely gone away as we've gone upstairs. I'm alone. Floppy disk. Louis. So this is the world now. All weird connections, broken skies, and messed up sounds. Oh, and it's full of the things that I want to kill me and all the other receivers. Thing is, I haven't seen any other receivers. I always thought during training that we'd fight this thing together, like a family, like they said, but they're all just gone, just like my little girl. I don't know if I can do this thing alone. Oh, it's sad, Louis. There it is. Crikey, that's scary. Okay, it cannot see me from here. It's a hard shot to make. I think I hit it. Okay, I have disable the motor, so it's only looking one way. Take that as a win. I want to open cylinder, and I need to do that. Open cylinder, empty. Empty. V. G. And snap it shut. Okay, it doesn't get any louder. It might be up there somewhere. Let's just... So this thing is still active. It just can't turn around. You can't turn around, mate, so I will get you. Thank you for your cooperation. Yes! Boom!
Indecision
3 of
and
5.
anxiety are the natural result
Water
of
break.
disordered thoughts. Ideas have weight and potential. They exist in a sequence, linked to other concepts that precede and follow them. Mental exercises will forge these broken links into an unbreakable chain to harness your will.
Okay, we'll go that way, I think. Interesting that we kind of we had to hear that music and zone in on it. I think it worked quite well. I think either it's very similar to the original map, or it's the same map. That is a turret over there. Can't see me through cardboard. Probably can shoot through cardboard, but let's try again. Crap. Too greedy. Like Dark Souls, man. I'm aware I was shot by a turret. Do I still keep 3 of the 5 tapes? I have to find all 5 tapes. Right, let's have a look at the gun. It's the same thing. Oh, damn it, this is a hard game. Yeah, we've not got a flashlight mark, so that's not going to work, is it? Righty. Again, this environment feels similar. And dead. No, not dead. But hobbling along now. May as well be dead. Can I walk properly now? I can, yeah. Does feel like we're just exploring the same area. It's cool. Let's keep going. As I remember this from before. Let's take it out because we're above it. And it's down. Boom. Trying to look for blue either side. Okay, yeah. We've been here. There's no turret, let's just run around listening. Some panes of glass will break when you walk over them. That looked like it was the arcade down there. That was idiotic of me. But I was just like, oh, let's see if we can climb. We're learning. It's cool. We're an hour in. An hour in. Okay, I have that now. And I have a gun. Which has one chain where that doesn't work. That's okay. Is anyone's apartment this cliche? I really am a target, aren't I? That's what they see. They want to just shoot me. They've not got a shower, have they? They've got a bathtub, but no shower block. Now, is there any blue light before we go down? Should give it a try, haven't you? It's quite low poly, but anyway, doesn't matter. Let's try again. I thought I'd stop on the balcony. Genuinely thought I'd stop off, hit the balcony. Genuinely thought my guy would be wise than he is. Way, here we go. How do I shut you again? See, that to me actually looks more like the detective's gun. And it goes clockwise, so that is the detective. Okay, I got the guns mixed up, I'm sorry. Yeah, they gave me a different one that I thought at the beginning. It's okay, doesn't matter. Okay, let's get serious now. Right, that's in. That's locked. We are not going to jump off any tall buildings. Oh, this is where I just was. Yeah, I jumped through that wall, didn't I? No? No, it's different. It's a different thing. What a lavish apartment, though. Got a nice big corner sofa, but no no TV in the middle. That's okay, I guess. Where's the TV? I have a desk here. Maybe they just don't have a TV. That doesn't feel realistic. Not like the game's meant to be. Okay, let's go this way. Blue. Which makes you think it's immediately to the right. Which it is. I'm glad I checked because there's that vent thing in the way. I'm trying to shoot it right down the middle, but okay, I've got the motor. So yes, that's the motor for turning it. Okay, that's fine. It's not in the world, is it? And it's dead. Oh crap, that's a gun right over there. Extract casings. There we go. Just trying to. It's very realistic simulation of guns. Oh. So there's a gun over there. Let's try and go around this side. Crap! I didn't realize there were two. Genuinely, I thought there was just one. I think it was 3 tapes. I'd be a happier bunny. Oh, we've got all 6 barrels available to us this time round. No, don't run. Just walk. Okay, we can see. Can I jump over it? I don't think I was meant to walk through this. I'm in the wall. Okay. if I don't sort this hack out, I will die. So I just shoot it in the ammo. This felt like the safer way. There we go. Okay, just listening for the tape. Okay, that is strong tape.
To aim a firearm correctly, you must be familiar with the sight picture, how the sights look when they are lined up correctly. Handgun sights almost always work in the same way. You line up the front sight in the middle of the gap in the rear sight and make sure the top of the front sight is level with the top of the rear sight. If zeroed correctly, the bullet should hit right at the top of the front sight at the zero distance, usually around 15 yards. For maximum accuracy, you should focus on your front sight even though it makes the target look blurry. There's no point shooting at a crisp target if you can't tell if your sights are lined up.
That's fair. Yeah, I remember being a kid. One of the first ways I was a handgun, just an air pistol actually. I wanted to kind of hold it like that to look down the sights, which is not the way because then the moment you shoot, you know, the recoil hits you in the face. When I was in Vienna, there was an art exhibition at the Al Albert Albertina, and it had this picture of yeah, it's the designs make you think it's like a child with a. It just made me think straight away. Obviously about child warfare and how awful that is, child combatants, especially uh, in Africa and places like that. It's just awful. But also made me think of kind of learning to shoot and wanting to hold the gun close to your face because you want to look down the sights when actually you want to hold it out in front of you. Resident Evil style. That's the trick. Like you, Chris Redfield. Or Jill Valentine. Yeah, I've got a flashlight. Yeah. Sorry, it's impossible to play this game without talking about guns, gun experience. Okay, some blue on that wall. There's that guy in the middle. Yep. So I feel like I could maybe, if there's not another one, I could crawl closer to it. Got greedy. Let's go for the back. Yeah. It seems like a more surefire. Surefire. Is there another one? Well, there might be, but I can't really tell with the lights from this one being everywhere. There's not. Okay. Got one tape. See light over in the far corner. Door over there. Might be able to just sprint it. Bit risky. it's designed so that the gun's in that bit, but we can't get a clear line of sight on it from there. Okay, I need the crazy gun music to stop now. Is it maybe up there? Just going by ears, sorry, that's why I'm not talking. Okay, that feels like so loud, it must be. How do I go up? That's there.
The world of the mind stretches far to the horizon. In this space, it's tempting to dwell in the past or explore possible futures. Attention flits from one distant idea to the next, visiting 100 unlikely scenarios, spreading thinner and thinner. This is the unfocused mind. In contrast, sharp focus is always concentrated on the present moment. What action do you have to take right now? Each new moment necessitating the next thought and action in a correct sequence. Receivers know that the biggest predictor of success is true grit, the ability to maintain resolve in the face of adversity. The only way to develop this trait is through practice.
Fair enough, one of those was quite long-winded, the other one was quite short. So we got 3 of 5, but I've just been kind of moving kind of right to left, and obviously there's many different floors. I've just kind of been trying to listen. And we got 3 of 5, so I don't know if they're like there's more than 5 in a level, because they could just be tucked away. That takes us forever to find, but we can see how we go. Gun over there. Some stuff on the floor. Okay. Let's take a really quick break. And I'm back. I feel a little bit run down. Just a little bit. Teeny tiny bit. I think it's the change in weather. Going from being fairly nice and sunny and warm to being pretty windy, wet and miserable means you're more likely to get things, which is a shame, obviously. Righty. There's a gun around the corner, isn't there? If I remember correctly. All hydrated. No, that's not the button. That's the button. Okay, he's really far away. Let's close the gap. It feels really hard to get a good angle on it. Let's see if we can go above it. Music. Glad we came up here.
The body and mind are linked. Physical actions are a manifestation of mental actions. Thus, training to protect the body also protects the mind. Controlling your environment controls your thoughts. You, your body, and your environment are part of a larger whole. Control your thoughts. Control your body. Control your environment. And control your fate.
I don't really feel like they're saying anything. That's a message. We've got 4 out of 5. That's really good going. So I feel like we're quite close now. Just got hearing some real creaking. You're kidding if I found it already. I was so worried about to jump out the window then.
The mind kill degrades the condition of firearms, making them much more likely to malfunction. You can clear most malfunction by tapping the magazine to make sure it's seated, racking the slide to chamber a new round, and then bang, you're ready to go. Tap, rack, bang.
Cool, we've ranked up to asleep. So it looks like it's an eye slowly opening, maybe? Time is messed up, apparently. Oh! I've got an actual gun, so... Let's have a quick look at the help. Colt M1911. M1911. Colt government automatic pistol. Caliber is 45. M1911. Capacity 7+1, so that's 7 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. 0.4 ACP automatic Colt pistol. The Colt 1911 is M1911 is widely considered to be one of the most elegant and best shooting handgun designs of all time. It remains popular after more than a century of active service. Almost all modern semi-automatic pistols are based on this design, making it the most famous of John Browning's many firearm designs. The 1911 became the official US Army sidearm, replacing .38 revolvers like the Model 10, and held that position until it was replaced in 1985 by the Beretta M9. The 1911 is a single action weapon, so before firing you must cock the hammer by either pulling it back directly or by racking the slide. If the hammer is back and then you can see brass in the chamber with a press check, then it should fire at least once, even under the disruptive influence of the threat. Novice shooters often experience stovepipe malfunctions, with follow-up shots where the spent cartridge gets caught in the ejection port. You can clear this malfunction by tilting the weapon manually and manually racking the side to clear the spent cartridge chamber clear the spent cartridge in the new one. Cool, so we have semi-automatics. And just as revolvers are always better than semi-automatics, semi-automatics are always a better choice than revolvers. Modern operators always carry semi-autos because they are simply the best tool for the job and have been for decades. Revolvers cannot compete in terms of sheer volume of accurate fire. You will need to carry 3 6 guns to have the same ammo capacity as a single Glock, and even then each shot will be slower and less accurate because of the heavy trigger. When you finally do have to reload the Glock, you don't have to take your sights off target. Most of the time, a sidearm is just dead weight, so it's important to be able to carry it comfortably. Semi-autos tend to be lighter than revolvers, and their magazines are both flat rather than round, making them much easier to carry and conceal, because conceal carry is kind of key thing here. They're more likely than revolvers to have accessory rails to easily attach a flashlight. Without a light, it is impossible to positively ID a target at night, which is when most shootings occur. In fairness, without light, it is hard. Some old-timers claim that revolvers are more durable and easier to maintain, but I would argue the opposite. Semi-autos generally run jacketed rounds, which result in less fouling, and when you do have to clean it, you only have to wipe down one chamber and not 6. True. Revolvers have very narrow clearance on the front and back of the cylinder, and any little piece of dirt can jam it up and make it a paperweight. Revolvers can have all sorts of timing issues, and a hangfire that would just give you a scare with a semi-auto could blow your hand clean off if you spin past it. Semi-autos can have malfunctions and stoppages, but 99% of the time you can just clear it. You can clear it in seconds. When a revolver malfunctions, you would generally have to take it to a gunsmith or replace it outright. The threat has an easy time convincing revolver owners to play Russian roulette after a few drinks. Don't you make yourself vulnerable to the threat? Is the threat a metaphor for mental illness? Don't know. Anyway, so we can see that is the magazine. I can remove rounds from the magazine, or I can put them in. Oh no, that's dropping the magazine. Right. Put round in the magazine. No, that's put magazine in inventory. Insert round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get 5. So it has 7, but it's 2 crosses, which makes I think that. Can't do it. Get the gun out. Inspect the chamber. Empty. Okay, R is to pull the slide back, I think. Man, that's cool. Insert magazine. So then we inspect the chamber. We're empty, so we now have to do that. And then insert the chamber, and we got something in there. Damn it! Did I just lose a weapon? Use it. So that's inspect chamber. But if I pull the slide back, yeah, I just throw bullets out, which is great. Cool. I just holstered the gun with a bullet in the chamber. That's what I did then. So that's there. That's there. There's nothing in the chamber. Pull it out. So that's now slide. So now I press T and R, and I can see that rather than just pressing R by itself. Okay. Is there a button for the safety? Is V. So that's the safety. So now it's also, crikey, there's a lot to remember with these guns. Okay, let's head this way. So I see a turret over there. Seeing lots of ambient noise. You are. Oh, I can spot you further away with a flashlight. I was like, you're flipping kidding me. I'm really far away from the dude. Crap! So when my younger brother told me about receiver, because he's I wouldn't say your mind's eye blurs, rank down, all unlocked, retained, and revisit baseline. Oh, you're kidding me! It's just sent me back. They looked like spent rounds. They were spent rounds. Crikey, I could tell because there was an indentation on the back of them. That's annoying. I'll open cylinder again. Yeah, we're good. No, don't do that. Close the cylinder. Okay. Cool. That was great. Really glad we went backwards. I don't feel like I can go this way. Oh, I can go this way. Let's give it a whirl. So it feels very similar to the original receiver in the fact that you die quite a lot and end up having to repeat bits, but losing a rank is bad. Okay, so it's over there.
This building, this place, it doesn't make much sense. Like, while I know this isn't the same room as before, it still feels familiar. It's more like a fictional place than the real world. It's like someone made copies of copies and lost the original intent of all the objects long ago.
Boom. So it does look like we've gone back to the last level because the arcade's there. So I do think the levels are static, but I think as well yeah, so the levels feel like they're static, but the tape distribution and gun distribution feels like it's random. I think there's a gun around this side. Doesn't look back. Let's just shoot it. I don't really want to risk it. So there's no ammo. You really want to kill me, don't you? So a quick look. Yeah, so because I keep on pulling back the thing, which I don't need to do. So now I need to remember to pull it back before I shoot. Because otherwise I'll keep on moving the round along bit by bit, which I don't necessarily need to do. That's just a light. I'm worried about above. Not hearing any singing yet. Let's just keep on going, I think. Traverse. Horizontally. Yeah, I just see it's a bit further away. It just looks a bit like low poly and not super clear. Okay, I hear. Where are you? Is it? It might be down this side. Oh man, this is hard as... There it is.
While physical training is less important than mental conditioning, receivers know that the two are linked. To move the body requires thought and focus, and similarly, certain actions and physical situations induce specific states of mind. By training one, you train.
So you've got to train both physically and mentally. Unnamed soldier, yoga in the park. Yoga, somehow I thought I was out of the warrior business. I showed up for free yoga in the park, try something new. I sure as hell looked out of place with my tattoos and buzz cut, but there was something below the surface I knew I had in common with these people. I had seen them in the park a few times on my morning jog, the way they moved, the look in their eyes, like people in a combat zone. It's very much about combat zone. I wonder if, well, I'm assuming because of the fidelity of the weapons of the guys who made this game, guys and girls, the team, are quite big on those I'm seeing. Are quite big on guns, so they might be ex-military. I see it. Do you see it? Another diary. Boogerman! I finally fell asleep. For days I was too scared to even try. What if the drones find me? What if a tyrant materializes in the room with me? So I slept under a bed in the apartments, like a child hiding from the boogeyman, or the boogerman as my little girl used to call him. Audrey had a whole raft of funny words like that. She was always completely serious about them. Daddy, is the boogerman real? Green, even. God, I missaid Louis. Time is messed up. Day question mark. So there's something weird happening to time. Ever since I woke up after the mind kill, I have felt increasingly disengaged from any notion of time and space. They are the same thing after all. I don't know how long I've been here or how long I've been fighting. I seem to be alive and I can make progress by studying the tapes and get close to the truth. I guess that's what I should do. Bit annoyed that it benched me. Not benched me, that sent me back. It's not doing 360, it's doing 180, isn't it? So it's now going to turn away and then we can move forwards. Okay, that was risky. I wouldn't say it was unnecessarily risky, but it was a bit risky. I can hear singing there. Come on, Mark, you can do it. Is it in the bathroom? Yeah, it's in the bathroom.
I did my best. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I really did. I hope you believe me. I tried and tried and tried, and nothing ever worked. And you all hate me.
Wow, this guy's proper.
Maybe
Letting his feels out.
deserve it. I always tried.
No, 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 no. So, you listen to the voice of threat while carrying a loaded firearm. Click to continue. Oh my goodness, that, what? So I listened to a tape and I heard the guy say, "This is how, this is how bad things are. This is I tried, and that, wow." Okay, we've been playing for what, like 2 hours now? An hour and 45 minutes. That felt like a good game moment. That felt like a surprise. That felt like the original receiver did not do anything like that. Again, it was very low. But now it makes me not want to carry a loaded firearm, which is cool. So we will just. Or yeah, I don't want to go through that again. I'm not going to load it. So I need to. Because that was pretty dark, man. Just try to click and get all the guns out of the shots, all the bullets out of the shots. Messed up. I don't think I've got any legs. I think this target genuinely, which is why when you jump through things, you leave like the bottom of the window still intact, but the top you music.
While some concepts are useful, others are the exact opposite. These terminating thoughts take complex and useful ideas and turn them into a simplistic cliche that is as incorrect as it is useless. The appeal of these thoughts is that they give a false feeling of certainty and authority, but they block true mental development. The functional mind questions and observes. It looks inward at the form of ideas applied in the mind as well as outward in the world. It views uncertainty as the twin sibling of curiosity. The dead mind is constructed of terminating thoughts. There is no room for feelings beyond a thin, fragile mockery of self-satisfaction. Personality is replaced with rote, checkbox-ticking behavior and reactivity. Human interaction becomes a grotesque parody where anything that doesn't fall neatly into a simplistic taxonomy of behavior gets ignored or assaulted. This causes a person to become less and less until ultimately they vanish.
Okay, I think it would have made me kill myself if I listened to that. Let's take a 2-minute break. Just need to send a quick message. So I was just thinking then, I imagine the enemies are obviously all turrets. Later on there are definitely going to be flying turrets, because there were in the first game. So I'm going to have to carry around a loaded gun at some point. But then maybe I need to unload it before I pick up tapes. Okay, there's a gun. Let's aim for the back. Boom. Wow, that felt like a really powerful moment. Sorry, I just wasn't expecting it. Tape.
Cooper's second rule of gun safety is to never point the gun at something you are not willing to destroy. Now, This seems obvious, but is easy to forget in the moment. If you're training at the range and a burning hot shell casing falls down your shirt, are you prepared to keep the gun pointed at the target? If the gun malfunctions, are you sure to point it sideways to get a better look at what's wrong? What if you were preparing to take it apart for routine maintenance? Are you still paying attention to which way the barrel is pointing? Many accidents take place while cleaning guns, because that's often when we let our guard down.
I think that's true. Having obviously been used proper firearms on a range, I can confirm that you do reach a moment with it where you shell casing comes down. You just don't think about it. I think it's doing a full 360. It is. Because it's really hard to gauge this light. Because it's just like, oh yeah, that shell casing really hurts. You're kidding me if that's still operational. I don't think it is. No, it's not. It's just scary. It's okay, I'll put you out of your misery. Because you're shooting and it's kind of, you're often in a cubicle, right? So you shoot your gun, and the casing goes here and bounces back down, and obviously it lands on you. It's hot, it hurts. Obviously it depends on which side of the gun the thing is, but they end up bouncing around quite a lot. I see now why they had to do the warnings about it not being a gun safe, like not being a replacement for gun training, because it really isn't. It makes a lot of good points. Okay, so there was last time we were here. There was one above us. I see light over there. The other side of that wall. Okay. I think I got the ammo. I did. I did. I would be very dead right now if I hadn't. I mean, hopefully, this is an interesting example of a game. I just can't see because of the stupid light. Let's just give it a whirl. There we go. Of a game that it does have something to say about gun safety. I'm really sad that these things, but it's also compelling gameplay-wise, and obviously the guys who made it, I can hear some singing. Have a love for firearms as well, or a hobbyist.
It's common knowledge that some needs are a higher priority than others. People note that in order to pursue some, others must be fulfilled first. They frame the complex situation using a simple, unrealistic examples, like how you can't be happy if you don't have air to breathe. These simplifications are used to hide more complex truths, that the body sustains the mind, and the mind sustains the body. The most present needs are in the domain of the mind. Without baseline function of thought, you can find yourself without the will to move or eat. Strengthening the mind by developing focus and resilience is the goal of a technique we call mind tech.
Okay, I'm still hearing music.
Kill drones don't feel pain, don't feel fear. They will keep trying to kill you until you make it physically impossible for them to function. The surest way to disable them completely is to destroy destroy their batteries, found in the thickest part of the base of turrets or the rear body of flying drones.
Flying drones, boom. I'm just going to try and kill this thing. I think I'm on the blank one. I am. Okay, it's got no ammo. And it's got no battery. And we're not going to fill it back up. A
In a
tape under it.
disordered mind, fear and doubt will often attach itself to whatever events are happening at that moment. These misattributed, diverted feelings can become habitual, compounding the problem of accurate thinking. This leads to confusion, impaired decision-making, and more anxiety in a damaging feedback loop. By grounding thoughts in the present, one can escape this feedback loop. Where are you? What time and year is it? Who are you? What are you doing at this exact moment? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you really hear?
So we managed to rank back up after being bumped back down, which is nice. But wowza, like that, the fact that the things are so bad. Okay, right. This is a Glock 17. This is a new gun. Oh man, there's a whole bunch of stuff to read. Glock 17 would select fire mod capacity of 17 bullets plus 1 in the chamber, 9 times 19mm NATO rounds. When Gast and Glock presented Glock 17 pistols to the Austrian army as a companion sidearm for the AUG, it marked the beginning of the end for classic steel-framed hammer pistols. There are pros and cons to Glock's polymer frame and sticker-fire design, but its lightweight reliability, low production cost, and shrewd marketing allow Glock to quickly achieve a dominant position in the handgun market. Glock pistols can easily be converted to allow fully automatic fire. The Glock 17 has no external safety switch or decocking device, so you can only safely holster it by making sure that you maintain focus throughout the whole process by holding down the holster key or making sure the chamber is empty. So you can eject the magazine, then get ready to catch the ejected round, rock the slide, and then reinsert the magazine. So maybe if I don't know, maybe just take the magazine out. Threat echoes is what killed us. One of the first most powerful weapons' abilities to infect our mind through the media uses this power to perform a constant assault on all of us, but when it identifies a potential receiver, it will target them for a more concentrated attack to snuff them out before they can awaken. While magnetic tapes can allow us to more easily receive communication between realities, they can also record reverberations of these attacks by the threat, exposing you directly to its voice. To untrained receivers, the voice of the threat can be indistinguishable from their own thoughts, giving it a conduit to directly control their actions. It is vital to learn to recognize this voice and temporarily remove your access to loaded firearms until the threat understands that you will not allow it to kill you and moves on to a new target. After hearing one of these, you may find that you also have a threat recovery tape. Listen to these to get the full story and learn how receivers before you have successfully resisted the voice of the threat. Whew. Magazines. After mind kill, the threat will try to interfere with the manifestation of our equipment. A receiver's mind tech is strong enough to prevent them from fully blocking our mission, but they can still limit our capacity for action by influencing our firearms. Revolvers may have block chambers. Magazines may have diminished capacity and weak springs. We can train for these possibilities by practicing partial revolver reloads and using magazines that are only partially filled. To add extra challenge, have a partner randomly mix snap caps into your magazines so you can practice your... Cool. Right, so that magazine is as full as it can be. No, it's empty. Ditch the gun. I want to remove rounds. Let's see how many we can fit in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, it tells us there 4. Let's get 7 in there. Let's get you out. We've got nothing in the chamber. Okay, so for this to work, I would need to. That was it going off to here. I need to chamber around. I've not got a chambered round, so even if nothing, which means that we are safe if we get a bad tape again. Let's go this way. I'm just super wary after all that awfulness. So there's another magazine down there. Saw some blue. Yeah, there's one over there, isn't there? I could hear a tape. So a quick look. It's there. Round is chambered. Check. It's in there. And we got it. So now I need to eject the magazine, holster my gun and shoot myself with it. It's clearly what I intended to do. What are you doing, Mark? I thought there wasn't a round in the gun. Don't back me up. Son of a... That's just annoying. That was... The chamber was empty. Okay, we've got this gun. Right? I want to have help up. Okay. So, I can holster it whenever, because there's no round in the chamber. Well, at least we've got a different gun. More fun with this one to be had. Sea blue. You are kidding me, there's one in there. Failure to feed. Empty. Ah. Let's just have a quick look at those help notes. Right. Guns. Malfunctions. Under ideal laboratory conditions, a well-maintained quality sidearm can cycle hundreds, even thousands of rounds out of hitch. However, if you find yourself relying on a sidearm to defend yourself, you're already far from ideal conditions. Something has clearly gone terribly wrong. Most likely you're under extreme stress, losing fine motor control, not thinking clearly. It's dark and confusing. Everything is somehow happening really fast and really slow at the same time. You still manage to positively identify your target and line up your sights on a center mass and click. Now what? Good thing you practiced your immediate action drill. Tap, rock, bang. The target's down before your adrenaline-addled brain has even finished forming the thought, why go click? And now you're alive, and you get to celebrate by going through days of detainment and questioning and paperwork and maybe an expensive and protracted criminal trial. But at least you end up with the same number of holes you started with. Where were we? Oh yes, malfunctions. Some say that technically it's a stoppage if an operator can clear it and resume firing, and only malfunction if something actually broken has to be replaced. But I don't like saying stoppage, so I'll call anything that goes wrong a malfunction. Some go further and call them mouths, but that's even worse. Malfunctions are generally caused by operator error, poor maintenance, which is another kind of operator error, or dumb luck. Unfortunately for receivers, all these factors will be aggravated by the mine kill. The threat can interfere with your technique, manipulate probability, and even physically alter your sidearm to make it less effective. The only solution is to practice until you clear malfunctions without even noticing. Players feed if you rack the slide of a loaded magazine and don't see any brass in the chamber when you press check, then it probably failed to feed the top round of the magazine into the chamber. Solve solution, smack the magazine to make sure it's properly seated, set, and then the rounds aren't stuck, and rock the slide again. If you see brass, okay, we didn't smack the magazine. Almost died, but that's cool. Let's wait till this point in that way. Try and kill it. Got it. There's another one over there. Got it. I thought I got you! I genuinely thought I got it. Genuinely. Cool. I left my sidearm with a bullet in it still. We'll move around. Push them all in. Okay, and then can chamber around. Can do that all I want because I've not got around chambered. Dang, this is hard. Oh, I guess the whole point is to teach you. Gun. Don't even see me from here. And we got it. So now to make this safe, I need to take the magazine out, put magazine in inventory, inspect the chamber, there's that there, so I do that, grab the bullet, I've now got empty, I can do that, and I can put more rounds in my magazine. Insert the magazine, check that, there's nothing in the chamber, so boom, boom, boom. Gun's ready to go. Next time I need it. It's dead, Mark. Is it under? I think it is under that thing. Yep, it is. It's under the thing. Okay, before I interact with that, I want to shoot myself in the leg, clearly. Oh, having a great time. Having a great time. It is good. It's just hard. I think it teaches you revolvers, and it's now going to force me back to revolvers, which makes me want to kill myself in the game. Because I felt like I just was getting the hang of the semi-autos, and I want to continue learning them. Still not giving me a semi-auto. Okay, that didn't actually kill me. A little bit disappointed about that. Do I now have to graduate with one of these before it will give me one of those again? Okay, it won't let me actually jump to my death. Come on. It's alright, plenty of opportunities to die. If I die one more time and then don't get a semi-auto this time, I'll just go with the revolver again. Because I kind of want to, I feel like I've got the revolvers down now. I want to get the semi-autos down. Okay, we've got a revolver, that's fine. No, we want to unload it. Okay. And same again with the revolver. Trying to listen for some tapes.
When explorers die of dehydration, their water bottles are usually not empty. They were saving their resources for later, when it got really bad. Kill people by suicide, it usually turns out that they never asked their family or friends.
Oh, Mark, that was bad. I think she was talking about uncomfortable things. I was like, I just want to kind of move on from this, but I also want to hear it. Because it's important to hear it, it's part of the game, but also it's not very nice to hear, because it's not very nice to hear about people dying and suicide. Oh yes, that's the window I fell through earlier, because it's not got any, it's been shot or hit or something. I might take a break shortly, actually, and just... Oh, tape.
We live in a world in which hostile thoughts and ideas are constantly present in the media, pressing in on our consciousness. Events are often also outside of our control, but not outside of control. Others use these concepts and events to create this anxiety. Thoughts flow in a sequence, and by inserting harmful media into your life, your thoughts can be hijacked. Once you are behaving in a reactive state, you will spread these contaminated ideas to others, allowing them to degrade more people. Practice basic media safety. Control your information environment. Act, don't react.
Good advice. Still hearing music.
When performing at a peak condition, often the deciding factor is mental state. Ideas have a form and a weight. When you become dedicated to an idea, it takes on a new dimension. It becomes denser, tougher to move, intractable. This tenacious stubbornness is required to become a receiver.
Okay, cool. I just wanted him to finish talking because I don't want to shoot myself accidentally, or I guess quite deliberately. Okay, it's definitely dead. Cool IKEA furniture though. Trying to spot the tape. What's there?
Many theories exist on the nature of the mind. Do we live in a simulation? Are our thoughts the result of chemicals and structures formed by random mutations? Or perhaps we are gifted with a soul by a higher power? The reason these questions persist is because previous attempts have failed to find a convincing answer. What is clear is that the mind harbors immense power over perception, and that changing perception changes the most important aspects of reality. Cooper's third rule of gun safety is to keep your finger off the trigger until your sights are on the target. There are many physiological reactions that can cause your hand to tighten involuntarily. If your finger is on the trigger and you're surprised or stumble or tighten the other hand, the gun will fire and make a hole in whatever it's pointed at. This is especially important when drawing or holstering. Like takeoffs and landings in aircraft, this is when most accidents occur. If your attention wanders for a second and you try to holster your gun without removing your finger from the trigger, you will shoot yourself in the leg. If you're trying to draw quickly, you can easily grab the trigger and shoot
What
yourself
happened
in
to
the
us
leg.
with the semi-autos? Okay, let's try and do this quite a long range, but I feel like when it goes that way we get quite a good sight of the back of it. Yeah, I think we got the bullets. I will just kind of bait it. Yeah, we're good. I could hear music. Is it beneath? Yeah, it must be. Nope, don't walk over that. Just find a way down over here. There we go. Take number 5.
U.S. Marine Colonel Jeff Cooper's first rule of gun safety is that guns are always loaded. Even if you've just unloaded it seconds ago or seen someone else do it, treat it as if it's still loaded. You may know that it's
Very
empty,
true.
but you must practice your mind tech threading and believe both facts at once. Unless you are currently seeing and feeling that the chamber is empty, the weapon is in a state of quantum uncertainty, controlled by the threat. In that state, if you point it at a kill drone and fire, the threat will collapse that waveform into an empty chamber, leading to a click instead of a bang. If your kid finds the same gun, points it at another kid, the threat will collapse that waveform into a loaded chamber, leading to a bang instead of a click. Never, ever let the threat make this kind of decision for you.
Yeah, there we go. And third time of ranking up. Which gives us semi-autos again. And Mark, don't shoot yourself. Have I got a gun? I have got a gun. And it's not a semi-auto. I'm actually okay with that. Ah, but we got some clothes. So I have a shirt like that actually. Not very fashionable, but I have it. Well, right now I'm wearing like a weird jumper and an Arsenal t-shirt, so what do I know about fashion? Okay. Who is that over? Oh, it's just you. Oh, pool table. They've got some more assets. Sorry, it's just if you've seen Receiver 1, this is quite something. Like, we're in an art gallery right now. It's pretty cool. Something to be Cthulhu. No, I can't hear anything. I'll just whiz around here. If I can hear things, then I would care more, but I can't, so I think because obviously hearing things indicates there's a tape in there, but I'm not. Scout the perimeter and not heard anything yet. More IKEA furniture. Gun. Crikey, these things are scary. Aren't you dead, mate? Oh, same as last time, isn't it? I'll leave the light off. Is it? I hear music.
Together, we have laid the foundation. You have shown great potential, but the potential is yet to be realized. We have sent the message.
Gun.
Can you hear it? There is an insidious force moving through your media, weakening the mind and causing widespread dysfunction. We call this the threat. We have developed a technique called mind tech to combat this threat. A new set of tapes has been issued to train and prepare you.
Okay, well I didn't try and kill myself, so that's always nice. See this stationary gun in there? Is it pointing this way? It's my genuine concern. No, we're good. Crap, it's a flying drone. get everything. Okay, god damn it, I cannot see him that well from this distance. So it's taken us almost 2.5 hours to get it, but we found one. Just check that no other turrets around there aren't. I blew part of it off. Crap, there's another one. Or potentially the same one. Down there they've got... That just looks horrible. I don't want to carry around a loaded gun, because I don't want to die constantly. There's a turret down there as well. It's really hard to see properly. Okay. That's dead. Oh, that's called die over there. That's quite cool. I don't really want to go in it because I don't know where it might lead. If I can continue going across this way, then I'm going to continue going across this way. Oh yeah, we grabbed a couple of these. Charlene, Hacker Life Forever with a 3. Been finding these weird encrypted messages. Maybe they're clues from the same peeps who send us birds and guns. Hack the planet, baby. Ha ha ha. Seriously, what is up with this stuff? I don't know what that says. Some random stuff. I'm sure there's hidden meaning in that, but I'm not going to find out. We also had yoga in the park too. I didn't push anyone to join. I could tell they were extremely cautious. We would just show up, do the guided exercise for an hour. There wasn't anything out of the ordinary for what it was. Hold this pose, concentrate here, breathe, and always listen, listen, listen. I did this for months. I was curious, but also patient. Later I learned that the process was called getting to baseline. Reminds me of Blade Runner 2047, where he's like, or 2045, where he's the new Blade Runner, the Ryan Gosling Blade Runner, where he's, you're not even close to baseline. He's being asked those baseline questions. Okay, we can see that over there. Kind of get to this thing. Okay, just looking for the blue. Don't think I quite got it. Oh, I got it. I have got it.
Close your eyes and imagine that you are a cloud floating over the city. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2.
I'm not
3,
doing it because it'd be a bit
4.
weird.
Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. Imagine a kill drone weaving between the buildings. Hold. The drone looks up, seeing the dark cloud. Breathe out. It starts flying towards cover. Pause. Bang. Lightning blasts it to sparkling pieces. Breathe in. Breathing is vital to life. In order to project deadly force with precision, a receiver temporarily becomes one with death and pauses the breath.
It's interesting. He's got quite a nice cadence to his voice, that guy. Oh, flying drone. It's now giving me more information on the drone. Oh man, there are guns everywhere, and I've not got that many bullets. Safely holster it. Help. Drone. We have received information from LTA that the threat will deploy flying shock drones. They've got tasers on the end to track down receivers. Once they spot a target, they will chase relentlessly until they catch up with the victim and deliver an incapacitating shock. This would normally be a less lethal attack, but with the threat's control of probability, any taser blast will likely result in cardiac arrest. Drones can be tenacious and will often be able to back up to replan their routes. They will go over fences, can even smash through windows. They will remember the last place that they saw their target and sometimes wait there in ambush. Flying drones are designed to be light as possible, making them relatively fragile. If you can damage a drone, especially by breaking its rotor shields, it will become much more vulnerable to collisions with walls. If you run from a drone, make sure that you only run through areas that you've already cleared so you don't run directly into turret fire. I think that's fair. Crap, it's right there. Damn it. You back up. This thing might still be alive. And therefore try and taser me as I walk past. So that turret over there has not supported me, so I'm saying ignore it. Crap. I don't know how many rounds I've got in this thing or where my chambers are. Whew. Demoted again. Of course. Why would I not be? I might call it there actually. It's been quite a fun time, but it's also been quite a rough time. Yeah. Let's just take out one more drone. Just for fun. Not drone, turret. If I tap sideways? No, it doesn't run sideways. Okay. So we can see some blue light. And you're dead, son. So let's just check if holstering and unholstering. Yeah, because it's a revolver, it doesn't matter as much. All the rounds are gone. Cool. So that was a little bit of time. Wins 0, deaths 16. Great. Not played it for 7 hours and 55 minutes, but that's fine. Yes, the game stats. Yeah, I've still not done that. Only killed um, two drones. So, thanks for watching anyway. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of Receiver. It's a